With the average FICO score in the US rising to 711 in 2020, according to Experian data back in October 2020, we see how important having a good credit score is nowadays. Hi, everyone. My name is Paul Sanchez, your realtor. And today I have with me a very good friend of mine, somebody I've known for over 20 years now. Uh, we met back in junior high, played some beat ball outside of the school when a couple of guys started, up to no good. But no, we did meet back in junior high, playing some basketball. My very close friend Manny Blue, he is now working with his own company, Blue Legacy Capital LLC. So today we're gonna have him give us some pointers on how to keep our credit healthy. And Manny, take it away, brother.
Hey man, it's great to see you. Great to see you. I know we go way back. The stories that we have.
I don't know if I want to know all of them, but yeah.
It's never a dull moment. It's never a dull moment. I'm
Indeed.
actually, I gotta say I'm proud of where you are today. Who knew, two young kids living in a low income, neighborhood was going to be doing great things down the road, right?
Dude,
Um,
thank you.
it's amazing. It's amazing to see how this friendship was started as a tease playing basketball, which I was not good, by the way. I was
Neither
horrible,
was
and I'm
I.
still
Neither was I.
I am still horrible at basketball. Man, I don't even play. I don't even play basketball. Period. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm proud. I'm proud to see where you are today, and the great things that you
Thank
guys
you
are
much.
doing,
Appreciate it.
and how you guys are helping people get in their dream home. Um, what we do here at Blue Legacy Capital and SBS Credit Academy, it's we help people that are ready to buy a home or looking to uh, have a good retirement plan when the time comes, right? These
Right.
are things that we know. These are things that most of us know. We want to buy a home, we want to retire, but a lot of times it's just said we don't really plan.
Yeah,
Or
it's a lot of people have a hard time getting to that point of actually sitting down and planning this.
right, and it goes back to the traditional educational system. It's failed our parents, our grandparents, it failed us, and it's failing our kids. So, I'm not gonna get into my story, detailing deep in my story as to how I ended up here, but what I went through led me to be here, and I made it my mission to be able to help individuals have a better understanding of financial literacy and be in control of their finances for many reasons. In this country, everything is credit.
Hmm.
Everything is credit, right? If you don't have a good credit score, you can potentially not get the job that you want. You can potentially not be able to qualify for the dream home that you envision for your family. Buy the car that you want.
Yeah.
And
Believe it or
if
not,
you have
it's funny because people don't understand that a lot of these a lot of homeowners now are asking for tenants to have good credit score. So even if you just want to rent an apartment, not even necessarily just own, but even if you want to rent an apartment, it's very important to have a good credit score and a good credit
That's
history.
crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy. But people don't realize a credit score is the report cards for adults. It's made of three digits, three numbers, and based on that number, you fall in a scale. There is, bad credit, poor credit, good credit, fair credit, excellent credit, and so forth.
Yeah.
So it's crazy to hear that because again, nowadays I assume renters want to make sure they're paid.
Yep.
So now they're going down. They're
Absolutely.
basing it. They're basing it on your report card, your credit score. So
That's a very good way of putting it. I never thought about it that way.
yeah, it's crazy, and I didn't know the importance of credit until I decided that I wanted to buy a home. I was the type of person that, applied for credit cards and maxed them out and paid whenever the hell I wanted to pay. But maintaining a good credit score is important in this country, and it's composed by five. it's like a pie chart, right? It's five
Hmm.
major components that make up your credit score, right? So 35% of that score is made based on payment history. So you always want to make sure that you're paying your cards, your bills on time. One late mark in your credit score can potentially harm your score almost to 100 points, which is
Oh,
crazy.
wow.
You know, this the second option, the second most that makes the your credit score is your the amount you owe, the balances. A lot of times people are like, oh, but I don't have a lot of credit cards, I have good credit, credit took a hit. But if you maxing out your cards, that's gonna affect your score in a negative way.
Yeah.
So this is something that I always tell people that are ready to buy a home. It's one of the fastest way to fix your credit. If you have credit cards that have high balances, pay them down, pay them off, pay them down, and you're gonna see an increase in your credit score.
That's tip number
Uh,
one right there.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. People don't realize that is one of the fastest way to build credit. Fix your own credit in a way. 15% is the length of credit. How long you've had that account. Sometimes people want to open credit cards when they buy a house. They want to. The mistakes. One of the biggest mistakes they do is apply for credit cards right there and then. But just because you're buying a home in 6 months from now and you apply for the cards today, it's not going to help you. It's going to harm you
Yep.
because you don't have enough credit history, enough credibility with the lenders.
Yeah, we have that happen
Yeah.
all the time, unfortunately. When you have
Right.
you have buyers and you're like, they get into contract, and then because they're in contract, they think, okay, I can now go and start buying furniture and whatever else they need for their home, but they don't realize that up until they're not at the closing table, they should not touch their credit cards.
That is key. That is key. So I know, and I'm sure you're aware, they want to see revolving in your credit. So if you pay them off, they're gonna want you to use them and have some type of balance on the car so they can show that you're using it, which is fine. But I always encourage people that are looking to buy homes. If you know you're gonna buy a home 6 months from now or a year from now, do not apply for new credit cards. Pay down your debt. Make sure you're paying on time. Don't touch your credit for anything. Now, if you need to add positive accounts or add more credit, then maybe a secure credit card will be the best option, where it's not really touching your score. It's not being pulled, but it's going to build for you. It's different right now. You have self-help, and you have this different a bunch of different companies that you can utilize to build your credit.
Mhm.
But if you're buying a house, if you know for a fact you want to buy a house within a year, don't touch your credit. Build it. And then once like you said, once you're in the closing, you're on the table, sign, now it's your home. Now go ahead and apply for Ashley's card, whatever you want to do to be able to, furnish your home. But
Yes.
until then, don't apply for a new car loan, credit cards, because you're doing yourself a disadvantage. It's going to cost you to not be able to get in the home. You know,
Yeah.
Again, 10% makes 10% is having new credit. So it doesn't really affects your score as much. But again, if it's too soon, it's not going to really help you. And then the last 10% is the types of credit being used. So you want to have multiple different accounts. You want to have, installment loans. You're going to want to have revolving loans, which is installments are like a car loan. And then revolving obviously are credit cards where you use the money and you pay it back. You use it and you pay it back, you
Mhm.
know. So you want to definitely diversify your credit and how you're using your credit. But people need to be mindful that credit in this country, it's everything.
Yes, it is absolutely. And again, going back to what you said about that card, how does one go about applying for those? How does one go about pre-qualifying? I honestly I haven't heard much I've heard a little bit about those, but I have never actually tried to apply myself. So for somebody that's thinking that's right now that's watching this and thinking, oh, maybe I should apply for something like that to help my credit score go up. How do you go about doing that?
So there's multiple. Every bank have their own secure credit cards, right? Now we have a partnership with a bank where we can offer our credit clients a the option of opening up the secure credit card. So technically, how it works is the bank or the institution is going to require you to put kind of like your own money up front. It could be $200, $300. So technically, they
Gotcha.
want to make sure that you you mean business. So let's say it's with the bank that we use, it's $200. You transfer in $200 and they turn those $200 into an actual credit card. Now, as you use it and you pay it, they report that to your to the 3 credit bureaus. So they don't pull your credit, which is the best part. They don't pull your credit. Most of them are guaranteed qualification. And the goal for this is for you to start building your credit. And now you're going to start receiving promotion from, all the major banks, where now you have some credibility, and then you qualify for actual lines of credit. Now, with the bank that we're using, let's say you build your credit to where you want to be and you want to close that card, right? So as long as that card is paid off, they're gonna reimburse you back your $200 that you initially put down. Oh, not every bank does it that way, but the bank that we're utilizing right now, they do. So you can take that $200 and then pay down some other additional debt that you may have.
Okay, so not every bank does this. It's certain banks that do.
Right. Because what happens, some banks, what they do, your initial investment, let's say it's $200-$300, a lot of time they actually turn that into an actual line of credit.
Gotcha.
So it turns your secure credit card to an actual credit card at some point after, I think, 3 to 6 months, depending on the bank.
Okay, that sounds cool. See, that's something that I don't know if many people actually know of, because usually you get the stuff in the mail, from like Capital One, Citibank, all the major banks. Right. They all do those pre-approval, but when you apply, you don't qualify.
Right.
Which is. Go ahead.
No, and that's something else. If I tell this to my clients, if you know that you don't have good credit, you can receive 100 pre-approval letters. Do not apply for it. Do not. Just throw them away. Why? Because in most cases, it depends on the bank. It could be a soft pull. But if it's a hard pull, it's going to be on your credit report for 2 years. And technically, you don't want to have more than two inquiries in your record for the year, or at all. I'll say 3 the max if you have to. Okay. Because inquiries also harm your credit in a negative way, because it seems like you're desperate. You're applying. I have this client who has, in just last year, 19 inquiries applying for credit card, because he wanted to build credit, and he didn't realize that he was harming his score by applying to so many credit cards and kept being denied. If you're denied the first 2 times, stop. You're not gonna just stop. 19 inquiries, and again, those stayed on your report for 2 years.
Wow. So that's funny. Inquiries, obviously you have a hard hit on your credit. One thing this actually happened to my dad. Without knowing, he decided to just go ahead and close his credit card.
Ooh.
Yeah. So you want to tell the people how bad that is?
Yeah, well, I know, because I did that mistake. I did that mistake in the past before getting into the financial world. I was like, you know what? I paid them off. I'm going to cut them off and get rid of them, right? And if you don't plan to use your credit, so be it. But again, in this country, everything is credit. You want to have good credit for any reason that may come up down the road. Yeah, closing your cards is going to hurt your score. So if you had this credit, like for example, my card, I had it with the bank for 7 years. That's 7 years of good history.
History gone.
Just like that. My score took a hit. I was like, wait, what? How is that even possible? Like, I paid it off. It was good. No, it harms your score when you close your card. Look, if you don't want to use your card, that's fine. Pay it off. Cut the card off. If you don't trust yourself and you don't want to use, just cut it off. But keep it open. Keep it open, because the longer you have credit history, the better it's going to look on you later on when you decide to apply for another card, a home, a car, or maybe you might want to start a business and you need to use your personal credit for whatever reason. You're going to want to have credit history. Trust me.
Yes.
Paying them off and closing them off is not going to help you. It's going to harm your score.
Yes, that's something else, because a lot of people, a lot of business owners, especially now with COVID, a lot of people decided to go into some sort of business. But a lot of people don't fail to realize that you don't start a business and then the business has its own credit. It always starts with your credit.
Right. So a lot of times, most times, when you're starting a business, you can build credit for the business itself, but initially they're going to use your score as a personal guarantee that
Yeah.
you are going to be liable as the CEO of your company to make sure that your company pays their bills. So if you have a poor credit score, you're not going to be able to create um, credit for your business. Now, there's other avenues that you can utilize, like net 30 accounts and so forth. But still, most of these companies use your personal score as a guarantee as a reference, whether the company is going to be responsible for the bills,
Gotcha.
technically.
Gotcha. Um, all right, Manny. So I know you have SBS, right? Credit Solutions. Is
S-
that what, did I get that right?
SBS Credit Academy.
Credit Academy. All right. SBS Credit Academy. It's that's what you guys. That's the company that you use to help people with their credit.
Correct.
Now, what tips do you have for some of the people, some of our viewers right now, that you can give them now to kind of help them, better their score a little bit, and then after that, uh, we can let them know how they can reach you.
So there's various ways you can build your credit. Like I mentioned before, the fastest way to build your credit, if you already have some type of credit card, some type of loans, is making sure that you pay your bills on time and maintain a low balance. Another way, let's say you have no score whatsoever, you're just getting started. The
Hmm.
easiest and fastest way is to reach out to a family member or a friend that has good credit and ask if they'll be
Hmm.
willing to add you as an authorized user. So technically, they don't have to. They're going to issue a card if they allow it. They're going to issue a card, but they don't have to give you the card. All you're going to
Gotcha.
do is leverage their credit score. So let's say they have a 750 credit score. Is that score from your friend or family is going to reflect on you. Now, within wait about 2 to 3 months and wait till it's fully showing on your report, and then now you can start applying for credit cards to on your of your own, and then they can go ahead and remove you out of the authorized user. That is one way. That is the easiest way to do it.
Okay.
um
So adding an authorized user. So I
you
was
can add
actually
it.
this is interesting because this is I was thinking about doing this with Evan, my son, because obviously, as we know, the importance of having a good credit and
Yeah.
being able to do that with him. So that's a great tip. What else you got for us?
And then the second option, as we mentioned before, is opening a secure credit card. Let's say you talk to your friends and family, they don't trust you, or they're too scared of adding you because they don't understand how the
Because
authorized
they
user
know
works.
you.
Right.
People that know
you
you.
know look, we all made mistakes in the past, but let's say that
Absolutely.
let's say you're just getting started and they don't want to take a chance because they don't understand how that works. That's fine. Opening up a secure credit card, it is the next best option. And if you get lucky and they add you to their account, still go ahead and open a secure credit card, because the more accounts you have in your credit report, the faster your score is going to grow, and the more possibilities of being able to qualify for bigger amounts and other loans along the way as well.
That's nice. And it's funny that you mentioned the mistakes. I remember when I got my first credit card. I was like, guys, I'm treating. Swipe, max it out. It was only like a 200-300 bucks credit card. I maxed it out that one night. And then yeah, after that, forget about it. So we learned the hard
Again,
way.
yeah, but again, we all learn. But again, this is
Yeah,
why
absolutely.
personally it is my mission to be able to give back to the community and help them out in whatever way possible. Again, for those that are interested in really helping themselves, because you cannot help everybody. You can only
Yes,
help those that want to be
that's also
helped.
true.
You
Yep.
know, and I see this firsthand. I see these all the time. But for those that do want to be helped and do want to learn, we have the option to teach them. There's different ways, different things that we do for that client particularly. But yeah, man, we learned the hard way, but it is those experiences that help us and shape us and mold us to be able to help others along the way. You know.
Yeah, definitely. Um, so what exactly do you guys do at SBS Academy?
So we have the two companies, right? And then I'm partnered with another company, Hope Financial Group. I'm a partner in that company. So the Blue Legacy Capital is where we teach, whether they come to us for credit or retirement planning. The key is to help the client build their financial foundation. Without the financial foundation, if something like COVID happens, you're bound to lose a lot. So it's like building a home, right? If your foundation is not right, it's messed up, the homeowner is going to have issues down the road.
Yep.
Guaranteed, right? So if you build your financial foundation, whether it's, it's I like to reference it as a puzzle, right? Your financial foundation is composed of different pieces: retirement, emergency fund, credit, savings, different buckets of savings, right? So once that's solid, whatever you build on that, if something like COVID happens, you can withstand the hit. You might get a hiccup, that's fine, but you'll be able to continue to build. Where today, most people are losing everything because their financial foundation was not solid. So we help our clients analyze from A to Z where they are, where they want to be, and then we build a financial GPS, kind of like a roadmap based on their specific goals, whether it's financially, whether it's asset wise, and so they can follow through. And then we check with them every six months to a year to see where they are. Has anything changed? So we can readjust or custom that plan for them. And but through SBS Credit Academy, normally that's people that want to come to us with credit. But again, credit is just a small piece of the puzzle. We have clients that come to us, oh, I want to buy a house in 3 months, but this credit score is about 470, 560. You're not buying a house in 3 months. Not going to happen unless you have a big amount of money to put down.
Yes.
And you are okay with overpaying for the house because your interest rate is going to be off the roof. Yeah. So we kind of like have to teach them how it works, how it can be time consuming depending on what's on their credit score, and give them a reality check of how it works. So either way, whether they come through us through credit or retirement planning, mm-hmm. The goal is to help them build their financial foundation and have a solid one.
Got it. That is awesome, bro. Thank you for taking the time and actually talking to me, and hopefully I got some good notes out of this. And hopefully whoever's watching this can get some good notes as well. You want to let them know how they can reach you. I'm going to try to, again, fairly new at this video stuff. So I'm going to try to, put up a link so they can find you. I'm going to share this on Facebook. I'm going to try to share it on YouTube, and I'm going to try to add some links, but, just let them know how they can find you, how they can reach you, website and all that stuff. So that if anybody does need your help, they can just reach out to you directly.
Yeah, definitely. They could reach. I mean, if they're on Instagram, they can find me on Instagram on Manny Blue Official. If you want to check out the business website, you can go to bluelegacycapital.com or sbscacademy.com. And we do a free analysis and a free financial checkup as well. So they can reach out to us at any time, and it's not going to cost them anything. It gives them a better perspective of what they need to do to be able to excel in buying the home from you guys, or building a retirement plan, a saving, or getting out of debt, period. And again, I'm more than, if you feel free to reach out to me whenever. I'm more than glad to come back on board, and we can touch a different topic or specific details in each topic as well.
Yes, I would definitely plan on doing that. We're definitely going to, be talking more about this. Something I forgot to mention when we started this is that you, my friend, are an author. You have a book that's coming out.
Yes, sir.
Want to talk to us about a little bit about the book? I know it's been your baby for a little bit, and and I love what you've done with it. I love I can't wait to get it. I already pre-ordered it, so I'm just waiting. I can't wait to read it. I want to know a little bit, your insight on the whole process and how everything went with you.
Sure. So, I appreciate that. I really appreciate it. It's amazing the support that I've gotten on the pre-sale of the book, which is, to me, I was very, very flattered, to be honest with you. As you know, I come from a musical background. I was a pop artist for a long time. I was in a boy band. So transitioning from that world into a regular life, you know, I wasn't satisfied with where I was. I always envisioned myself in the music industry making, you know, a lot of money there, but sometimes just doesn't work out. When other people control your dream, you have no control. So I struggled financially and mentally in the process, and transitioning into right before I got into the business world, you know, I hit a real a brick wall. Let's put it that way. I hit a brick wall where my self-confidence and my mental health took a hit, and I was at low, right? So, you know, having 3 kids of my own, I know that eventually at some point, whether it's in school or at work, they're going to face similar situations. So I started to take down ideas and write down kind of like a guide for them to be able to read and follow, as a reference, because again, they're not going to learn about this stuff in school. They don't learn about finances, personal growth, personal development, confidence. They don't learn about that stuff. So I wanted to make sure that they do have something they can rely on. You know, if I die, they can still be able to kind of read the journal. So that's when it hit me, because I wanted to write a book. I just didn't know what. You know, I knew at some point I would like to, but and then that kind of like the light bulb went on, and I'm like, maybe I can turn this into an actual book, and put the strategies together to share with the people. So in the book, I share part of my personal story. I didn't want to make it more about me, but so they can have something to relate to, you know,
Yes,
whether it's,
absolutely.
you know, and yeah, that's how that book, you know, came about. And I'm excited. You know, I was nervous. I was like, yeah, nobody's gonna buy it. Nobody's gonna want to read this thing. But I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna pull the trigger and just do it. And whatever happens, happens. So I went for it, and I gotta say, I've been it's been the support has been amazing.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad to hear. Tell the people the name of the book.
The title of the book is Little Boy Confidence: How to Build Your Self Confidence. It's available
Very
right
nice.
now for pre-order at littleboyconfidence.com.
Awesome. Again, I'm going to try to share that link with everybody. Uh, Manny, bro, thank you so much. Can't wait for our next meeting so we can discuss further things. I'm going to see if people maybe they have some questions that they want to ask. I'm going to have them, you know, in the message board or whatever. Just let us know what they want to know. And yeah, we'll definitely do this again, man.
For sure, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time to hear me run my mouth.
Listen, any advice given nowadays is much needed and greatly appreciated.
Hey,
So
I agree.
again, thank you so much, Manny. Thank you everybody for watching. And again, keep an eye out. We're gonna be doing this again sometime soon.
For sure. For sure.
Have a good one.